our own lives aren't going well. I know how hard change is. But Democrats, I also know this. That nothing in this country worthwhile has ever happened except somebody somewhere was willing to hope. That's how this country was founded, by that greatest generation, by that group of patriots that declared independence against the mighty British Empire. Nobody gave them a chance. That's how slaves and abolitionists resisted that wicked system, and how a new president charted a course to ensure this country would not remain half slave and half free. That is how the greatest generation, my grandparents' generation, my grandfather fighting in World War II, my grandmother staying behind with a baby working on a bomber assembly line, how that greatest generation defeated Hitler and lifted itself up out of a Great Depression. That's how we populated the West, pioneers with great courage but also hope. That's how immigrants came from distant shores, uncertain about what they would find when they arrived, but knowing they wanted a better life for their children. That is how workers won the right to organize against violence and intimidation. That's how women won the right to vote. That's how young people traveled south to march and to sit in and to be beaten, and some went to jail and some died for freedom's cause. That's what hope is. That's what hope is. Imagining and then fighting for and then working for what did not seem possible before. That's leadership. John F. Kennedy didn't look up at the moon and say, oh, that's too far. We can't go. False hopes. Martin Luther King didn't stand on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and say, go home, everybody. The dream's deferred. False hopes. Y'all need a reality check. There is a moment in the life of every generation when that spirit of hopefulness has to come through if we are to make our mark on history. When we cast aside the fear and the doubt and the cynicism and we stop settling for what the cynics tell us we have to settle for, when we join together and we decide that we are going to roll up our sleeves and we are going to remake this country block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, county by county, state by state. When we decide in our guts, when we are determined that our children and grandchildren deserve the same chances somebody gave us. When we make a determination and we are willing to fight on the basis of the conviction that we are going to keep the dream alive for those who still yearn for justice and still thirst for opportunity. And Democrats, this is our moment. This is our time. And if you will stand with me on Tuesday, if you vote for me on Tuesday, if you are willing to keep on marching and organizing and knocking on doors and making phone calls and attracting young people and getting old folks reinvigorated and getting the middle folks involved, I promise you we will not just win Wisconsin, we will win this nomination, we will win the general election, and together, you and I, we will change this country and we will transform the world. Thank you, Wisconsin. I love you.